So I know I've been bombarding you with like hundreds of Blackboard announcements. So this is the main stuff we need to do this week. So I want you all to somehow overdub something to one of the two songs your band is playing. So it does not have to be anything that is used in the final mix. It's just try to record with your home setup. And for some people, it'll be more difficult than for other people who may have like an interface and microphones and stuff. And that's great if you do have an interface and microphones. I actually don't have an interface, so I'm just going to have to use my built-in microphone. And I'm going to demonstrate what to do worst case scenario if you do not have an ideal setup for doing this. Okay, so worst case scenario, if you do have Pro Tools First or something and you can't get it to record, or you can't even get Pro Tools First to open or install, there is a last resort, which is called BandLab. BandLab.com. It's an online DAW that you should be able to use even like from your phone. It's very, very basic. I played around with it. I just imported Blue Sunday just for a test. So if you can see this, I'm going to try and open it in the mix editor here. What I did was I made a stereo drum bounce. You only have 12 tracks in this online thing, so I wanted to keep the tracks to a minimum so there is available tracks to record to. So I did a stereo drum export in Pro Tools and it just came in as a mono file, but I imported a mono drum bounce, the bass, the scratch vocals, and then I actually recorded the click audio. So if you have to use this, you will hear the click as it was in Pro Tools. So everything should be synchronized. I'll try and play this back and see if you can hear it coming through my speakers. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many, or any of you, yeah, I know some of you are in the band for this song. Who's in the band for Blue Sunday?
That's
Nobody
Alex.
here?
I mean,
Alex
I'm in
Marshall.
the group, but I'm not one of the musicians.
Okay, well, you get to record something anyway, Missy.
Excellent.
If you,
I got rice.
that's fine. Make a little shaker. Just record some shaker along to it, and that will fulfill your obligation. And you actually have Pro Tools and a microphone and everything, right, Missy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good.
So-
So you won't be in this desperate of a situation, but I'll go through the process anyway. The one cool thing about this website is you can invite people to collaborate on this one session. So I can invite the people who are in the band for Blue Sunday, and if you wanted to, you could record your part into here, or you can record it in Pro Tools and it would probably end up sounding better, and then you could export it to me and I'll put it in the master Pro Tools session to share with everybody. So I'm just gonna really quickly show you how, if you were gonna record this way, which should be possible from a phone if you don't have a built-in microphone on your computer, or if you don't have an actual real microphone. There's this button over here, it says add track. So we're gonna click add track. It's gonna be voice/mic for this. I guess if you did have a guitar or bass, you could use that. So I'm gonna do voice mic, and do I see signal? I don't even know if I see signal, probably not. Okay, so there's not an obvious record enable for this track. There's these three little dots next to the track name. If you click on that, it pops a menu up and you can do enable multi-track recording, and that is like the record arm in Pro Tools. So you just enable multi-track recording, and I wish there was some sort of level indicator to make sure there's getting signal, but there's not, so I'm just gonna record and see what happens. clapping, clapping. And what happened? Nothing. Let's see. Let's look at microphone source down here. So down at the bottom of the screen, if you can see that, it says source for the little microphone. My MacBook Pro is actually closed. I have to use my LG ultra-fine display. And now, do you see the meter? Yeah, now it's working. It's really loud. It's really loud. I don't know how to adjust that. Okay, so I probably would have to go into my system preferences and reduce the microphone signal. I'm going to do this anyway. I don't care. Okay, so. Oh yeah, that's better. I see signal. Okay, so. All right. In an ideal world, you'll have headphones of some sort there at home, even earbuds, don't care, just something that you can put on your head to listen to the tracks and the click, so that like the click was bleeding through and getting into the microphone, and that's bad. So if I were to put my headphones on, probably won't be able to hear this anymore, but I have my headphones on now, and if I record, okay, so now that time I recorded, there should be no click bleeding in, just, yeah, I know that sounds terrible. It sounds terrible, but yeah, I practiced this. I don't want to blast your ears out or anything, but I stole my kid's xylophone. And I practiced this. I just figured out the notes. Let's see if I remember. Like that. So I played xylophone along to it. So just as an example, I'm going to try and do this for sort of real. Okay. Turn your volume down if this is really ear piercing. I'm sorry.
Mama, we're gonna show you something.
Okay, buddies, quiet. Start with this. Okay. And you know what? I put my headphones on, but I forgot to plug them back in, so you probably still hear the click going through. Let's see what that sounds like. Oh, and the children. Okay, buddies, quiet. Oh, that's loud. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, make sure you're keeping your gain in mind, your microphone gain. Like, I really need to go in my system preferences and turn my microphone gain down, because that's blasting my eardrums out, and it's obviously clipping. So if you are going to use this, keep that in mind. I'm going to do you all a favor and delete that. Okay. So let's see. Let me show you. If you want to import your own session into BandLab and do this, I'm going to exit here. I'm not going to save. I don't think I did anything worth saving. So, okay. I'm going to go to the main page for BandLab. Okay, so let me open up Pro Tools. And what is one of these shorter sessions other than Not War Pigs? Is Express
Let It Be.
Let It Be. Yeah, that was chopped off, wasn't it? Pretty short.
Yeah, it's pretty short.
All right, let's open that one. Okay. So when you open it, if you downloaded everything correctly, all of the tracks should be in color. You should see the waveforms. But if I played it right now, all I would hear would be the kick and snare. So remember, these sessions are set up for using the SSL, and we have to change all of the outputs to 1 and 2. So I'm going to Option, click on an output, go to 1 and 2 stereo. Okay, so for those of you who don't have any Pro Tools or way of doing this, I'm going to export all of these files starting at the beginning. So they probably all, just select everything here. Okay, so everything from beginning to end is highlighted, and I'm going to consolidate. And see. Okay, so what it looks like I did is I added a whole bunch of silence at the beginning of the tracks, which is important because if you're going to import these into a different DAW, like if you're using BandLab, they all have to start exactly at the beginning or they won't be in sync. It'll just automatically move things over to the beginning and nothing will line up. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to Shift-Command-K, and I'm going to choose my destination. And this is let it make a new folder. Okay, waves for importing. Open, and then I'm going to export. Okay, now something I haven't done yet, but the click track is very important. I need to be able to get the audio of the click track also, the same as all the rest of these. So I need to make a new track. I don't know if I can do that while it's processing, but it's almost done. Oh, children are crying. That's bad. Okay, so now I'm going to make just a new mono audio track. I'm going to route the output of the click to a bus, like bus 18, why not? And then the input of the audio track, bus 18. So I'm going to come out of the click into, I'm just going to call it click audio. I'm going to record enable, go to the beginning, and turn the volume down. So basically, I'm just doing an audio track of the click track. And I don't want you guys to have to listen to me do the whole thing, but I'd do the whole song and then I'd highlight it. Oops, not that. Undo. Okay. Turn off my all group. Okay. So I'd highlight the whole click track, and then to export anything from Pro Tools is Shift-Command-K. And then I'm just going to export it into that folder, Waves for Importing. And then I will have that. Let me think. I might just make a BandLab session for each of the 4 songs with a stereo drum mix, so there's lots of empty tracks for people to record to. I don't know how many of you will actually need to do that, but I want it available so you can all get this project done. Okay, let's go back to somewhere else.
Hi, Mama.
Hi, Harry. Okay.
We got bugs from outside.
Don't bring bugs in the house. No. Okay. So, when you get a track recorded for your song, what you need to do is export it somehow from whatever DAW you're using. If you're using DAW, Digital Audio Workstation. If you're using BandLab, you can export somehow. Open Mix Editor. Let's say I just recorded this vocal track and I wanted to export it. Export track as wave. So you do that, click export track as WAV. It probably saves to your downloads folder. And then to turn it in to me, you go to Blackboard, which is over here. In the menu for new online stuff, this is new online stuff. I didn't want to call it coronavirus stuff, but this is just all new stuff. There's an upload files here button. Click on that. And it has overdub submission. Click on that. And then you can choose your files from the computer. If you're doing an integral part like the lead vocal, you should have 4 lead vocal takes, and you can do this. I think you can upload like 10, you can do this assignment 10 times to upload multiple files. I think I have it set to 10. Nobody should have 10 things to upload, I don't think. I mean, just minimum 1, and then if you're doing a vocal, it would be 4. Just for the lead vocal. If you want to sing a background vocal, just 1 track is fine. And then you just choose your file and submit it, and it'll send it to me. Other than that, every week you need to fill out a weekly notebook, which counts kind of as your attendance. So to do that, right below upload files here, there's weekly notebook. So you'll click on that, and it'll load a little survey that you just fill out your name and the date. You just have to do this once a week, so before Friday. Enter the approximate amount of time spent on audio-related coursework. So each star is like an hour. Normal week, 6 hours. Try to do 6 hours. I'm going to send you some assignments and projects. I just want to make this week kind of hopefully getting the kinks worked out, getting everybody's software working where you can at least do a recording. The rest of the semester is all going to be somehow mixing, and I'll give you some replacement projects for the Melodyne and the Sound Replacer. But I've got to make sure there's something that everybody can do, hopefully. We are expected to make up last week's time, which is another 6 hours. So if you say you spent 7 hours, then mark 7 hours. How many stars did I put there? 10 stars. I don't expect you to really spend 10 hours on this, but try to squeeze in an extra hour or 2 a week, or say that you did, and then we can say that we made up the time. Because technically when we do this, when we do overdubs in class, we're spending 2 weeks because we can only record 1 person at a time during our class. So we're condensing that all into 1 week, and you're all recording independently, so, you know, it doesn't take 2 weeks to do overdubs when we're doing it like this. So accomplishments, just give me a short, whatever you did this week. Say, I got my DAW installed, I'm using this, just, you know, write what you got done, and then you can reflect, like, I hate this so much, I wish we were in the studio, this sucks, I can't wait for next semester, you know, just reflect. And then the last thing is just optional. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything for me, you can fill that out. So just do this once a week, and that counts as your attendance. And do you guys want to have a weekly, like, Zoom meeting on Tuesday maybe, and just get caught up and see where everybody's at? Does that work for you all? Or do you hate this and you never want to do it again?
No, this was helpful.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
All right, then we'll do a standing meeting at 10 a.m. on Tuesdays, and I will be here like all the time. So if you want to meet with me one-on-one, just send me an email, or here. Some of you already have my phone number, but I will. Let me see if I can stop. I'll stop sharing the screen and go to the chat, and there's my phone number. So if you want to have a meeting with me or something, you can send me a text, and I'll make sure it's not on silent. Turning it on. Okay. And then I'll just send you a meeting invite or something. And I'm going to have I'll have set conference hours. I'm going to use the Zoom app. There's a way of making it like, oh, hey, Alex. There is a way of making the Zoom app have a waiting room. Like, I can if somebody wants to have a meeting during conference hours, you just log in, it'll send me a message, and then I'll connect to you and we can have a meeting, and it'll be cool, hopefully. Yeah, I'm sorry we don't get to use the studio, just the sanitation requirements. There's like no way of sterilizing the console after each person uses it, so that's yeah, they're not even, I think they're having where if music students forgot their instrument over spring break and left it in the music building, there is a really long procedure to get in and get your instrument. Like you have to fill out a health evaluation and it has to be approved, and then you have to schedule a meeting, and you get 20 minutes with like no more than 8 other people to go in the building and get your things and get out, and then Miss Brandt, our department chair, has to sanitize everything you touched before the next batch comes in. It's such it's like, to do that in the studio would be an impossible nightmare, basically. So
I do have a question.
Yeah.
About the project and everything. So is it normally going to be like everything's due by Friday, or is it going to be like just, and
you can work on it whenever you want during the week. You don't have to stick with Tuesday, Thursday from 10 to 1.
Right.
Put it in, put your time in whenever is convenient for you.
Okay. And then also with like, if we're recording like whatever we're recording, like a shaker or anything, do you want it to be for the entirety of the song, or
if you want to be musical about it and just put it in certain sections, you can. I'd like you to, it can not just like 5 seconds at the intro, try to make it make sense, I guess. So it's like a sensible musical part that could be used if wanted to, but you don't have to use it. It'll be up to the engineers if they want to use these parts that we're recording.
Okay, cool.
Okay, any other questions? Did everybody see the chat with my phone number in it over there?
Yes.
See the chat window? Okay. Other than that, I was hoping if more people were here, I was going to try the breakout rooms where I can assign you with your band and you can talk about what you guys still need to get accomplished for your songs.